Hey, this is Paul from P3 Adventures. This is a YouTube channel that you're on. Hopefully I have some more adventures, but this adventure I went with my eldest son and his best mate to Mount Isa and Cloncurry, and along the Barkly Highway, which is the road that leads from Mount Isa to Cloncurry and vice versa, Cloncurry to Mount Isa, there is plenty of abandoned mines that you can go and visit. But I will say you need a four-wheel drive to get to these places. The road is pretty dodgy, and for obvious reasons. It's not like residential areas where they get retarred every few months or whatever the situation is. So there are a lot of dirt tracks, a lot of places where there's pretty big potholes in the roads and all those sorts of things. So definitely a four-wheel drive is the right vehicle for that particular thing. If you don't have a four-wheel drive, you can actually hire them in Mount Isa or Cloncurry and pretty much maybe use them for a few days and do your exploring with them there. So make sure you pack a bit of extra cash for yourself to be able to do that. Now, you'll see in the video we weren't really properly prepared when we went for our walk. We had to walk because the van that we hired, we weren't allowed to drive along unsealed roads, so we had to park the van and pretty much head out. And we didn't have to, that's what we chose to do. And as a result, we discovered quite a lot of things of what you should and shouldn't do when you walk to the Mary Kathleen Uranium Mine. So I'm just going to tell you what you should bring. Okay, so what you should bring is a hat. That's a full brim hat that covers around your head. So the front of your face and the back of your neck, it should protect that, which is good. So something like a Nakubra hat or full brim straw hat, maybe even one of those fishing hats that go all the way around too, or a bucket hat would probably be good. Right, a head net that goes over your hat and around your face so you aren't mobbed by flies. You can get one of these from BCF, the Boating Camping Fishing Store, and you might be able to get it from a hardware store or just a camping shop in general. So before you go, you should probably get one of these. These are things you should get before you go on your trip so you're prepared as well. If you have a backpack with a water bladder in it, that would be awesome. And also pack extra bottles of water just in case. It's extremely hot in this area, especially in the warmer climate. We went in the beginning of March, but it was still really hot. At 8:30 in the morning, it was 31 degrees Celsius, and it only got hotter from there. So one of the days that were in Cloncurry, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it was 43 degrees Celsius. So that's just to give you an idea of the heat. And where I live on the Gold Coast, the hottest it normally gets during the day, like in the middle of the day, would probably be like 33 degrees. So, huge difference, right? So you do have to do your research on places before you go. You should be smart about it. Be prepared because you don't want anything bad to happen to yourself or the people around you. So if you follow this basic thing, there'll probably be a few more things that you could probably pack, such as like a first aid kit would also be helpful in case someone injures themselves or any of those sorts of things. But yes, make sure, do your research, be prepared. So let's get into this. Add ice bricks if possible to your bag. They probably might melt quickly, but at least they will provide some sort of thing to keep them cool for hopefully a little bit longer. Sunscreen to protect you from getting burnt or, something. Anyway, if you've got like a really thin sort of clothing that you could probably stick over your arms that is breathable clothing, not something that makes you sweat, it might help. But then, as we say here, make sure you wear appropriate clothing for the climate. You don't want to overheat yourself by wearing long pants, long sleeve shirts, or any of that sort of stuff, because that would be crazy. Make sure you have good walking shoes or boots. Right, hiking boots would probably be the best idea, but if you don't have hiking boots or you can't afford them, make sure you have like just good footwear that you can use, and footwear that you don't care if it gets damaged as well. High-vis vest or shirt in case of an emergency where you need to sort of get people's attention and wave them down, or even when four-wheel drives come through, they're able to see you clearly. A good tip that I was told is if you're trying to get someone's attention because you feel like you're in trouble, have a high-vis shirt on, hold up a water bottle, and hold it upside down to show that it's empty. And in most cases, people will realize that you need help and they will stop and come around to make sure that you're all right. An old friend of mine actually wrote that as a tip, so I felt that it was worth sharing because it actually is a good idea. Because sometimes when you wave to people as they're driving past, they assume that you're trying to be friendly and just waving at them. So if you have certain things that you've got on to pretty much draw attention that you might need some sort of assistance, that would actually work better for you. Handheld CB radios, or otherwise known as walkie-talkies, because sometimes phone reception in these areas are not that great. So we use Telstra and Optus as our phone networks. There's probably other networks that might work 100 times better. I haven't really researched that particular thing, but I do know that Telstra and Optus are the main sort of phone providers in Australia. Telstra being the main one because they have been around for years and years and years. So most of the time, if you've got a Telstra SIM card, you should be able to get reception just about anywhere. But in this case, Optus and Telstra are kind of just as good as each other. When one wasn't working properly, the other one was. And I have a phone where you can have dual SIMs. So if you've got that, then you can sort of have the best of both worlds. But there are still areas where there's no reception at all. So having some sort of way to communicate with people that you're with or outside of that area, that's going to be your best bet. If you do have an umbrella, you could take that for extra shade. Sometimes people don't want to wear hats, so umbrella would be good, but you're going to need that netting around your head to stop the fly infestation, pretty much, like, because flies are just ruthless out there. As you can see, one of the posts of or pictures that I shared as a post on YouTube shows like a bathroom, just a floor covered with flies and sink with flies and whatever else. Funnily enough, that same bathroom that I posted a picture of, we'd only been there a few days before and it was completely clean. So that's just how much of an issue flies can be in those particular areas. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm sure there's some other things some other people could probably point out. Maybe some like snacks as well, like some sort of food, something that might give you a bit of protein, like protein bars, or something that's easy to pack, just so you've got that extra energy that you can have. Try not to take soft drink or energy drinks, any of those sorts of things. As my wife always says, they'll only make you more thirsty. So make sure water is your key for that particular thing. She's going to beat me when she hears this. But anyway, it's obviously worked because it's stuck with me for years. That's it from me. Enjoy watching as I trek through the track. It's a pretty standard track. One thing I will warn, there is a lot of cattle that go through that area. Don't be scared or afraid of them. They're fine. They will leave you alone as long as you leave them alone. And most of them just run away from you anyway. So it's all good. And in regards to wildlife, we didn't really see anything, to be honest. If you call birds wildlife and cattle wildlife, then that's it. That's all we saw. So on the odd occasion, you might even see a kangaroo. So that would be pretty cool. So other than that, enjoy watching the video and make sure that whatever you do, if you choose to go anywhere, research the area first. Always be prepared to prevent anything bad from happening to yourself or those around you. All right, that's it from me. Bye for now. Hello party people. We are out in the middle of nowhere with these guys.
Oh.
Yep. Oh.
Josh, say hello. Hello.
Yeah, don't sound too enthused. We are heading to Mary Kathleen. We can't get there by car, and you can get there by four-wheel drive. It's definitely four-wheel drive terrain. But what better way to get there if you can't get there than by walking along? Whacking myself with leaves because so many flies. You have to actually do it, otherwise you get mobbed. So, if you got one of those electric mosquito zapper things that look like a mini tennis racket, definitely bring it with you because you're gonna need it. Right. But show you what we're looking at here is where we are so far. This is the track to Mary Kathleen part of it, so lots of different landscapes. Oh, the video seems a bit shoddy. That's me trying to get flies out of my face. Oh. With these guys, look, see, that is how you get flies off you. Whacking yourself with leaves. Or just grow extra tall like Josh, and apparently they don't bother you. Well, we've got our little CB radios, our phone, some water. Definitely pack water if you're going to walk it. Don't do like we did, and probably bring a backpack full of a few different things. So, also along the way you'll meet the local bulls that are actually quite friendly. Friendly in the sense they won't do anything to you. Right. Hi there.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And show you some more footage soon. Alright, we're heading towards Mary Kathleen. This is the end stretch now. We should be coming up to where the actual mine is. I need to try and put my walkie-talkie on my belt thing again. And as you can see, the beautiful scenery. Now, swap hands. There is a possibility that four-wheel drive might come through because it's one that drove past us earlier. Hang on. Just got to stop and clip this in. Actually, I'll just put it in my pocket. That'll be the best thing to do. Oh, alright, because I need my little fly swatter thing. So if you hear that noise, that's what it will be. And hopefully, not too much longer, and we'll get to see one of the things that everyone's been posting about. Now, the hire vehicle that we had, we couldn't get through here with that, so we had to park and just make our way down. It's a 6-kilometre walk, according to the signs. If you go Google Maps, or if you go by Google Maps, it will tell you about 5. And you'll also pass the, I think it's called Mary Kathleen Historical Site, where they used to have the town. Oh, the township. That's it. So, as you can see, looks like we're getting closer. But what I'll do is I'll leave it here for now, record some more once I get to the site. Alright, shouldn't be too much longer. Alright. Hello again, it's me, and we're right near Mary Kathleen Uranium Mine, or abandoned uranium mine, because it's not used anymore. And as we saw a sign before, it says warning, you're not allowed to drink, swim or fish in the water because of contamination. So make sure if you ever visit, don't do that. it will not transform you into a superhuman zombie mutant sort of thing or any of that sort of crap. So anyway, let's go have a look. So even if you do come up here for four-wheel drive, eventually you still have to get out and walk part of the way, which is pretty cool. Oh look, it looks like some people have done that balancing rock art stuff. Actually, looks like, oh yeah, no, oh, that's cool. Anyway, there's flies galore, but it's only the very beginning of March, so it's still quite warm. Probably better to come maybe in the cooler climate. But if you do come in the summertime, make sure you bring like a hat with netting around it, or maybe even some definitely some Aerogard or some sort of mosquito spray, so you get them. Lots of bugs at night time. So if you actually, what would be ideal for most people probably is if they actually had like one of those netting gazebos, so that you could actually put all your stuff in there. But if you do that, you have to set up while it's still daytime if you stop somewhere, so that you can actually do it all. But here is the side of the mine, and ready for the money maker. Look how blue that water is. Unfortunately, it looks super inviting too. Makes you want to go for a swim in it. Looks so nice. But unfortunately, no swimming in this water. Alright, so that is the old uranium mine. Alright, well worth the 6-kilometre walk, but I tell you what, we should have been a little bit better prepared, because as usual, we didn't pack enough water to bring with us, but we'll survive. Anyway, that's it from me.